welcome to this edition of the Featured Friday, the B Major community with their Forgotten Coast Real Estate Show. Super excited to have Polly with stjoegrow with me today. So thank you. Thank you for agreeing to do this. I know it took us a little while to get us aligned up to get this accomplished for today.
Yes.
But I'm super excited to have you for a couple of reasons. Is that I think that the product that you do have for our community is amazing, and it's something that we clearly needed here. And for the fact that for anyone who has not tried their microgreens, you need to do this. What I found was they taste so good. We were just talking about the arugula that I had was off the chain amazing. And then I also bought some lettuce from you, but I found that they last a lot longer than anything else that I've ever, that you can go and buy. And I pretty much am the vegetable hospice in my in my refrigerator most of the time. So that's saying something. But anyway, so let's get started with, let's talk about who you are. What's your background, family, like who is Polly?
Polly Romiti and my husband, Brent Romiti. We are from South Georgia, around the Americus, Georgia area. We moved down to Port St. Joe about 2005. We had a decision of Montgomery, Alabama or Port St. Joe. So it was kind of a no-brainer.
Sure.
So we moved down here and kind of acclimated ourselves into the community. I started working out at the Gulf County Health Department in their administration office. So basically my background over the past 15, 16 years has been in finance and accounting. And I'm currently a freelance full charge bookkeeper.
Nice.
In addition to...
We'll talk after this.
Yes. Okay. But my husband, Brent Romiti, has Romiti's Coastal Customs. He is pretty much a flooring guru, tile, backsplash, showers. He does home renovation. So he's been a local character on the scene in that realm for a long time. So we stay very busy wearing many, many hats.
Yeah, you do.
So it's just me and my husband and our two chihuahuas named Poncho and Lefty.
Poncho and Lefty?
As they, was it Merle and Willie? I think it was. Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. I love that so much.
So it's basically us at our little small, quiet, humble abode. In a nutshell, that's pretty much basically who we are.
I love it. Well, so obviously the choice between Alabama and Port St. Joe was an easy one, but was there anything in particular that drew you to our area that you were like, oh, I need to be there? Clearly the water, but...
Well, his family has been vacationing here all of his life, and his parents moved down in 1999. So that made the decision a lot easier, having family here local. So they also entered into a charter business for many, many years, the Miss Judy Charters, and a lot of people will probably remember them. But
nice.
But as things progressed, and Mr. Frank Romiti, Captain Frank, got a little bit older, he just kind of wanted to kind of chill and relax later in life.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I love you. Really have, your family has worn a hat or two around these parts for sure. Oh my goodness.
I have done my stint as a deckhand also, and that is a little bit of work.
Oh, yeah. Yes, it definitely is. And that's some dirty work too.
Yes. I've fallen off the boat a couple of times and it was not fun.
That's it. Oh, I haven't fallen off a boat yet. Knock on some wood here real quick, because that has not happened yet. But
it is good to have goals, but not that one.
Oh my goodness. So you're obviously growing microgreens, and you obviously have all of these things that you've done. What inspired you or pushed you to go this route, to start this business?
Well, in 2019, we decided to give microgreens a go. Brent was introduced to him back in the early 1990s, back in college. We, like every other gardener, had the typical problems of pests, poor growing conditions, super wet weather, super hot, dry weather,
Yeah.
lack of space. So we came indoors because they're much more nutritionally dense and we didn't have to grow a lot to get our nutritional needs. So having the 5 to 6 servings a day came down to just a wee bit every day. So it was a lot easier to eat our nutrition. So that's what inspired us there. And then what inspired us to start St. Joe Grow was the fact that I was really not happy with my job, not the job itself, but the daily commute. Um, just didn't really fit in as a cubicle person. Um, so I kind of like to think outside of the box. I like challenges and problems and the day to day things that some people find comfort in. Just kind of left me lacking, I guess is what it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
So Brent came up with this idea. It was his baby, his brainchild. And we decided to start dabbling back into our big gardens again. So we bought some little small hydroponic systems and set them
Mhm.
up in our house, and it was fun. And we started giving away. People loved it. And we had some people say, you need to get into this. We would love to have fresh products here locally in St. Joe. And as you mentioned before, lettuce, for example, it can last about 3 weeks in your
Yeah.
refrigerator. And that's because it's cut 24 hours before you get it here. It's not coming from California being trucked across the nation, having about 3, 4 to 5 stops in a warehouse.
Yeah.
So you do
Yep.
get the freshest quality.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I
So
love that. I mean, I think so often, like, I was talking to somebody the other day, and they're not overly happy with what they're doing in their career, and you just kind of have to stop and think, look around you, and what is there that people are asking for, and so you got to follow your passion, but if it's a need, then go for it, like, because you're going to exude that energy around it that people are going to pick up on. And when you have a good product, then it's all golden.
absolutely. I mean, the people around us is what inspired us. What is the community lacking? What do you feel there's a niche to be filled?
Hmm.
What can you do? There's always something. And as our community continues to grow very quickly, might I add, there are going to be more needs out there
Yeah.
that can be filled. So there's a lot to think about. Just kind of listen, stay in tune with what's going on around you, and just find your spot.
Yeah. Well, and I think in life, that is what the human nature needs and or wants, is to find what fulfills us, what our drive is. And when you can give back to others and you're doing what you're passionate about, every day is such a blessing. And when you find that, it's so good. It really is so good. And I feel like this platform of real estate gives me an opportunity to do things like this. Like, let's highlight who you are and your business. Like, I think it is our duty as a human being to continue to support each other, and and continue to contribute. And I mean, microgreens are a huge contributor to your health. Like, they're so good for you. And again, like, you and Brent have a background of something different, but you're passionate about what you do. So
Absolutely. And microgreens are now being recognized globally as a sustainable source of nutrient dense, a source of food for people who have food insecurities, where they do not have agricultural lands, they don't have
yeah.
the water available to them. This is something able to supplement their diet so they have a more complete nutritional
Huh.
diet.
That's awesome. That is super cool. Well, I love it. Speaking of the products that you have, and I know I told you I was going to ask you this, do you have one or two things that you grow that you just love? Like, do you love the way they grow? Do you love the way they look? Like, what is your favorite product that you have, and why is that?
There's quite a few, but just for the sake of time,
No, you can give me a couple examples. It's fine.
I love our. Just speaking of microgreens, one of my favorite is the rainbow radish. It's got that nice peppery bite. I can add it to just about anything: sandwiches, salads. I put it on top of my scrambled eggs. I will toss it into some cabbage for like a fish or shrimp taco.
Oh
Another
yeah.
one is the wasabi mustard. It's got that true wasabiness, that flash hot, and then it's gone.
Yeah.
But it's great for me. I love a good uh, roast beef and provolone sandwich with the
Mm.
wasabi radish on top of it. Um, there's just
I'm
so
so glad that
many.
I ate before we had this conversation, or I'd be hungry right now.
Absolutely. Another one that's surprisingly come on as my favorite are our beets. We do a rainbow beets that we made. Beets to me, no way around it. They taste like dirt.
They do,
But
but they're
with the
so good for you.
that's why I like the micro beet. You don't have that overly beet sense. You can hide it in things, but still get that great nutritional benefit of the beet. So that one's coming on. It's just easier to eat for me than I would have to do a regular beet.
Yeah.
So there's
Yeah, I'm
not a
not.
lot of prep work either. They're easy to prepare. You just snip, serve, and toss in.
So maybe your next thing that you do is you attach little recipes to each one of your products. Like, here's an idea what you can use this for, because I wouldn't come up with that. Like, I'm going to stick to my old traditional ways. Like, I love arugula in my salad. Like, so I mean, that's what I've bought from you is the multi lettuce and the arugula, because this is what I know, but I would have never thought of all these other things. So
Well, it's funny you say that. On our website, stjoegrowproduce.com, we have in our blog recipes and ideas of how to incorporate the
yes, you
goods.
do.
And I'm really doing better about at least trying to blog at least weekly, because it is kind of fun to research, but then you tend to go down a rabbit hole, and about 15 minutes later, it's like a time suck, and I need to be doing something else. But it's
We're gonna have
fun.
to set a timer. You've got 30 minutes.
I
When
have
it goes
so
off,
many,
you're done.
I have so many timers on my phone each night. When to water microgreens, check the nutritional components of our hydroponic systems. Just things to help me stay on track. But
Yeah.
luckily we have a lot of smart technology that keeps us on point to where we need to be, because it's easy to get distracted and see that swirl and just kind of go
Yeah.
for it.
Well, and I'm sure, I mean, you bring up a really good point that probably each one of your products requires something that may be a little different. So just to keep them all straight, because you also are growing some mushrooms, and I see them. I'm not a big lover of mushrooms, but they're pretty. And like I've seen some that are like larger than my hand that you're growing. So I mean,
Well,
they gotta require something different.
that's another one of my favorites. And I just harvested some just now,
Yeah.
getting ready for farmer's market. We have one of our beautiful poofy lion's mane.
Look how
These
huge that
things,
is.
this is not the biggest one. I've still got more to harvest. Um, when eaten raw, it's sweet and it has a crab or lobster type taste. And
Okay.
it's very poofy, and you can shred it. A lot of vegetarians will shred it like pork, or you can cut it into medallions. When you can eat any of our mushrooms raw, but you're not going to get the nutritional benefits from it until you cook it.
Oh, really?
Pretty much, oysters are just water, so that would
Yeah.
be all you're getting. But you can saute these, you can grill them, you can roast them in your oven. Uh, Something else, instead of for Valentine's Day, maybe we should have offered oyster mushroom bouquets. What
Exactly. They're
at
so
this
beautiful.
time?
It's absolutely gorgeous.
This thing right here is a
Bigger than
pound
your
and a half.
head.
I know. Can we do the interview like this? So,
No, we gotta see your face. Sorry.
but that is one of my absolute favorite things to grow and eat. My husband will not touch a mushroom. When I'm harvesting, he will not stay in the house because he smells it. He just nothing about it that he loves. He thought I was absolutely bonkers. He said, "Why would you want to do that?" It's like, because the mushrooms that I love and I want to eat are not available in your local grocery stores.
Correct.
So a lot of people have asked me a lot of questions because they have never seen them, don't know what to do with them, from preparation to cooking to recipes. Again, that blog spot is on stjoegrowproduce.com. It has a lot of helpful information on there.
Yeah.
And we have really been excited and surprised at the support our local community are giving to us just with our microgreens, but the mushrooms have come on very strong, and lettuce is in such demand we're having a hard time keeping up, but
Yeah.
we are working on our expanded climate controlled grow facility. So hopefully soon those supply issues will be solved to some point.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a great problem to have. So,
Yes.
and I will add your website and everything in the notes below so everyone can like reference it and come back. But I know we've hit a couple things. So last question for you is going to be like, how can people get a hold of you? Like, I know that y'all hit farmers markets and things like that, but and I think that's a really great place if it's someone new that they can kind of come and get in front of you and talk and have these kind of depth conversations. But what's the best way, or how, I shouldn't say best way, how are the multitude of ways that someone can get a hold of you?
On our website, it will list not only our email, but also my phone number.
Okay.
If you are a social media user, Instagram or Facebook, if you look for St. Joe Grow, it will have in our about section, it will have our email, it'll have my phone number. We try to stay as very flexible because people use a variety of communication methods these days.
Yes,
So
they
you
do.
have to stay on top of it.
Yep. Awesome. Well, this has been amazing. Like, I knew that this was going to be a fun interview to have, but I didn't realize I was going to learn so much today. So before we sign off, what is behind you?
These are our microgreens.
Okay.
I have them in my office. I just want to share real quick that we live in chaos. Chaos as an acronym. Can't have anyone over syndrome. We are growing out of every little space in our house. There's just enough room for me to sit in one place and my husband to sit in another place and a dog in each lap.
That's fantastic.
We are just living in a jungle. I mean, the air quality is great because the plants filter it out, but I'm kind of ready to get to where I can stretch out a little bit and not have everything so jumbled.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I forgot my train of thought.
We were just talking about your chaosness and that you're going to be hopefully getting rid of some of that chaos for you.
Absolutely. Oh, the microgreens here. We have them in the office. They're easy. They're pretty much all automated for the most part. I do have to water them twice a day right now, but I have them in here because I can kind of control the temperature and the humidity.
Right.
The lights and fans are on a timer. And I do have 2 trays of some arugula back there. If you know anybody that would like some.
I love it.
So we will be at the Port St. Joe Salt Air Market this Saturday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And if you are interested in trying some of these products, I would highly recommend to come early.
Yes, they do go quickly. Yeah, don't go late.
I sold out last farmer's market within 2 hours.
Yep.
So that was not a bad thing. I wish I had brought more product, but I'll take that as a win.
Come early.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Again, we'll put all your info here so people can follow along. But yes, please stop by the farmers market. It's downtown Reed Avenue, and you can't miss it. Farmers market will be there, and you can definitely just swing by and find their little table and talk to them and see what you think. So, well,
guys,
thanks so much, Polly.
Thank y'all. Stay safe, stay happy, and stay healthy.
Amen, sister.